Hey there, welcome to Art of Awakening. My name is Ona Christie, and I'm so excited to just host this video for the New Beginnings 2020 event, and just so pleased and honored to be here today. And welcome if you're new, welcome if you're returning, and just let me know if you can hear me. Just post in the chat. Hi, Cleo from Australia. Brown bear. All right. So I'm just asking people to, if you're here, just to post where you're from, what your favorite animal is, and we'll just get started in just a sec. I do need to know that you can hear me. Hi, Christine and Celeste. Hello from France, birds in general. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure that I am audible. Hi, Cleo. Hi, Bastet 777. I'm assuming that you guys can hear me because I'm not hearing that you can't. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Cleo. All right. So the topic today is working with your spirit animal allies to step into your purpose in 2020 or anytime. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of an overview on spirit animals and kind of like how to work with them. We've got 3 different ways that we can work with spirit animals, as well as the big question that everybody has is how to know if it's your personal spirit animal, your totem. So we'll touch on that. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Emma. So, and hopefully we'll have time to do a little spirit animal meditation so that we can go in and connect with the spirit animal, one or more. And then, hi, Tarot Map. Hi from Poland. So we can, at the end, there will be some time, hopefully, for a little bit of Q&A afterwards. So I welcome your questions. Kaleidoscope Tarot, hi. So very good. Let's start, first of all, with just a quick overview of spirit animals, what they are. So they come to people in different ways, and we'll get into that in just a little bit, but it is really, they're basically energies, like anything else. They are energy that resonates at the frequency of a particular animal. And this could be a particular animal. Some people will have, hi Pamela, hi Gypsy. Some people will have like a particular spirit animal, like I've got a white horse that I work with. But then others, usually what you're doing when you tune into a spirit animal is you're going to be tuning into the oversoul of that animal species. Hi, Danny from the UK. Robin, beautiful. Okay, so I hope that's clear to everybody. If anybody isn't clear on that, just post in the comments, and we'll address that. I want to make sure that if you have questions, that I try to answer those as best as I can. Okay, so spirit animals, being that they are a spirit energy, they're a little different from the angelic realm. They are definitely of the earth. They're nature spirits, and they really are associated with what is known in shamanism as the lower world. And as such, they are really good at helping us to kind of connect with the earth, with our physical bodies, with actually making sense of being on the earthly plane. And for a lot of us who have a pretty high vibe, it can be challenging to get grounded, to come to earth, to learn to navigate the whole earthly scene. And spirit animals are a wonderful ally in order, to help us to do that. They have quite a few functions they can do for us, and they're typically very happy to work with us. But sometimes you gotta really, just like a regular, like a flesh and blood animal, sometimes you have to really gain their confidence or be patient with them, because they are those, the animal spirits, and they sometimes need a little bit of just patience. They're not always going to be real quick to respond until you develop a rapport with them or a relationship with them. They can be very protective. If I've got a good relationship with the bee spirit animal, and they have been lately just really kind of surrounding my chakras and helping just kind of have this protective layer. So there's a lot of different ways, and each one is going to work with you a little bit differently. They can be really good guides. Sometimes they are good at showing us or helping us to find things that we need. They are also one of the favorite things that I like to work with them with is as kind of mirrors to your superpowers, because every animal on the earth, every type of animal is really good at survival, and they've developed their own little superpowers in order to do that. For instance, owl sees really well in the dark and also hears really well. I'm just going to use owl as an example. They fly very silently. So all of these characteristics that are part of that frequency, that energy frequency of that animal, certain animals are going to resonate with your own frequency at certain times. And you can actually tune into that animal to help you to bring some of those characteristics out in yourself, or to recognize those characteristics, because and figure out, well, is this working for me or against me in this particular situation. Okay, so working with spirit animals really takes it helps to develop your intuition. You got to work with your intuition and your mental capacity, right? So it helps to really bridge that gap between spirit and earth, because you're working with all of it all together. So there are quite a few types of spirit animal, and by types, I meaning like how they come in for you, their function working with you. Sometimes they just come in as a little messenger. And everybody's question is always, is this my spirit animal, right? And so let's address that first. What is, what people consider my spirit animal? I call that a totem, your personal totem. And a totem is one that really resonates the most closely with your own energy. And this is one that is going to be a spirit animal that typically is going to be with you a long, long time, if not your entire life. They're not every spirit animal that comes in is going to be that. So sometimes they just come in with a quick message. So if you think about spirit animals as being a whole community, then just like we have different people in our community that have different roles in relationship to us, so we have different spirit animals that can do that too. So your totem is almost like your twin or your spouse, your significant other, or something like that, right? One that you really have a deep, deep relationship with, and that really works with you very closely. A messenger could be somebody that maybe somebody just you meet on the street and they say something that's like, oh yeah, right? That really resonates with me. That's really what I needed to know right now. Okay. Or we have what I call like guidepost spirit animals, which will come in and help point us to a particular direction. And some of these may be little guides that stay with us for a particular time in our life, or are associated with a particular aspect of our lives. Like I know of one woman who has, I think it's a vulture that she works with that helps her find deals at sales and so forth. So there are animals that can come in for different purposes in our lives. But the totem is what I call the totem. And I just want to be really clear that I have picked this up just simply, this is my kind of my own system. So there are other systems of working with spirit animals, and I think they're all good, whatever resonates with you. So I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. It's just kind of what I've come to understand through working with them. And I also want to just be very clear that spirit animals are not necessarily, I mean, they often are associated with, say, Native American tradition, and that's very true, but spirit animals are found in every traditional culture around the world. They are not specific to any single culture. And even if you're not even a part of any kind of traditional culture, like myself, I'm just whatever American, but they'll come into you because they're children of the earth, and so are we, and they come in to help us. Okay. So I wanted to just talk about, this is really about working with your spirit animals. So I've identified 3 different ways or primary ways that we tune into, thank you, Brianne, that we tune into spirit animals and how to work with them. So starting from the least conscious to the most conscious, and I'm not saying that as a hierarchical way, it's just like the how it kind of comes forward. So the most maybe primal and unconscious is what I call initiation, and that means that the animal is actually coming to you. You're not really consciously calling it in. In core shamanism, spirit animals or spirit helpers are a source of power for us. That is absolutely true, and they can be extremely kind of like what we call power animals. Absolutely. So in what I call initiation, and maybe this isn't a great term for it, but the other 2 start with I, so I was trying to find a word that starts with I. They simply come to us, they show up. And so you may have had experiences where suddenly you just kind of became aware of this animal. Maybe it was a flesh and blood animal, maybe it was a butterfly or something that started fluttering around you. It just kind of came into your field. It might be in meditation or a dream that without you even asking, it just suddenly, it's there, it's in your awareness, okay? This is what I call an initiation. It's coming to you. So ultimately, there's something about your energy that has drawn it in, and it's coming in to either support you or guide you, or just help you be aware of something about that resonates with that animal frequency. I think if you've ever had that happen, just post in the comments maybe what kind of animal it was. But I think most of us have had that experience, and it's sort of like this, "Hey, I'm here for you" kind of thing, right? And we from there need to choose. First of all, be aware of it, because I think the animals are talking to us all the time. It's just that we need to have a certain opening up of awareness in order to be even aware that that's what's happening, that's what that's what they are. And so when some of these start coming in and we start coming aware of this, and a lot of times it'll be like, you may see, like in my area we have tons and tons of crows. So I see crows all the time, but maybe specifically there might be a crow that comes in and there's something about that particular one that kind of catches your attention. So typically there will be a message for you in that. And when you start exploring that animal, the meaning of the animal and so forth, a lot of times it can really help you to realize something that you needed to know. Okay, so that's initiation. That's the first type. The second type is what I call invitation, okay? And that is where you're like, I really want to connect with the spirit animal world. And it's you just sort of open up your energy to invite them in. And we're going to be doing that a little bit in this guided meditation that I mentioned, okay? And that is just, it's sort of it's a conscious opening and just invitation, and really coming to it from a place of an open heart and gratitude, and definitely an open mind, okay? Because the spirit animal world will send us the animal that has the frequency or energy or message or whatever power that we need. And it's not always going to be the one you expect. In fact, it might be pretty surprising, okay? And I never know, if I tune in on behalf of somebody else, what animal that's going to be. And sometimes it's like, holy cow, that it can be very, very specific. I had, for one person, it was a 5-lined skink, which is a little lizard. And I don't know where that came from, but it turned out she actually had a connection with that animal. So it was kind of cool. but really, really opening up the mind and not like really not expecting any particular animal, not dictating, but just like, okay, I'm opening to the animals, and please just bring to me what is going to be the highest and best message for me, or the highest and best energy for me to connect with, the one that's going to help me the most. Typically with that, it's going to be either asking for a sign or going into some kind of meditation or guided meditation that we do that. And then the last is what I call invocation. And that's where you have a specific animal in mind that you really want to connect with. And so you're invoking the spirit of that animal. And this, I really, it can be extremely powerful. And especially if you've already connected with an animal, if they've come through to you through an initiation or through an invitation, that animal has chosen to work with you. And that's one that I think, if you're just starting to work with animals, I would start there, an animal that you already have some kind of little connection with, to invoke them, to ask for that particular energy to come and work with you. Okay, to call them to you. Always, I really recommend that it be done with huge respect and gratitude in the heart. Really, it can help to do some work on the heart, breathing in and out of the heart with gratitude and love, in order to do this. One has to be very careful with the invocation, that we're not like doing it from a place of ego, because and to really respect the animal, that is their choice to work with us, and that we're honored and have a lot of respect for the animal, to do that. So would that message from the crow be a past loved one or something going on in our life now? Yeah. Often when they come in, it is going to be addressing things that are happening in our life, because remember, they are really here to help us to navigate this earthly plane. Sometimes, yes, sometimes the spirit animals can be either messages for loved ones, or if there's a loved one that you've had that has passed, that has a connection with that animal, they can really use that as a messenger. So that it's like sort of a messenger function that they can help you, and also a guide function. They can help you to connect with that person. So very good question. Thank you, Brianne. Yeah, they can certainly have that function. Okay. So let's see, did I mention this? Okay, so I wanted to touch on beautiful, with all those animals, and yes, we can connect with multiple spirit animals. Okay, there's some, like, sometimes people are confused. Which one is my spirit animal, or can I work with more than one? Yes, you can absolutely work with multiples. Typically, it's going to be one, maybe two. You'll have maybe a tiny core cadre of spirit animals, probably one primary one, maybe a few little ones that you work with at a very, very personal level. These would be the power animals, or the personal totem, which would be the primary one that resonates with your energy the most. But then we can work with many of just in many different ways. So don't feel like you have to be restricted to just one. Thank you, Gypsy. Okay, so did I cover superpowers? Did I talk about that? I don't think I did. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to work with my notes and just skipping around just a little bit. But one of the things that that I've really enjoyed working with spirit animals is that, I think I covered this, but I'm just going to say it again because I think it's important, is that they each have their own superpower, right? That they've developed. And when they start coming in for us, that really mirrors to us that we've got something in our energy has that same resonance with their energy, and that can really point us to what are our own superpowers, right? Because every person, we're all in this crazy life for a reason, on this crazy planet for a reason, right? And we all have a purpose, a mission to fulfill in life. And one of like the ways to like a lot of us are really searching for our purpose, trying to figure out, well, what am I here for, and how am I really going to fulfill my mission? How am I going to, do what I'm here on this planet to do? And especially as an awakened person, as an aware person, we're really being called right now, and especially going into this 2020, things are really opening up to where each of us is really being asked to step into our truth, to step into our purpose, to really shine our light in the world. Okay, and spirit animals can really help us to identify exactly how we're going to do that. And it's really through this concept of these superpowers. What is it that you really just resonate with, it that brings you joy, that brings you bliss, that that you're really good at? So there's certain things that you have probably noticed that you just naturally are, you rock at this stuff, right? Whatever it is. For me, I'm like an artist, and I've always done that since I was tiny, tiny, tiny. And I'm a communicator, and that's something that I've had to really work on, because there's been, sometimes our superpowers are hidden behind blocks or whatever. And we have to kind of work to uncover them. And that's another thing that spirit animals can help us to do. That's why they are power animals, right? Um, but things that you're drawn to, right? Even though as a child I was like really, I wouldn't talk, right? I was really, and now I'm like talking, but I was constantly drawn back to pushing the fear, pushing those boundaries in order to get my voice out there. Okay, so that is part of like, and the spirit animals did help me with that. Um, so you're going to have certain things that you're probably kind of aware of in yourself, even if it's subconsciously, because sometimes it's like we repress these things, or we've gone through experiences that have challenged us that really kind of repress this in us. They make us doubt ourselves and so forth. So working with spirit animals, when you connect with a particular animal, really watch for what are their traits, their characteristics that help them to survive, because that is going to be, if it's one of these animals that's a totem or something like that that's really working closely with you, you can really tune into that to figure out, okay, well, this makes sense because this speaks to this part of me that wants to sing, that wants to dance, that wants to play with numbers, whatever it is, right? It'll speak to those parts of you and kind of show you where point out those strengths in you, and it will also help to show you, sometimes it's the shadow side. Okay, and I'm going to touch on this very quickly because I know that we have limited time here, but I think it's really important to touch on the shadow side. And what I am referring to shadow is those parts of us that have been repressed, right? That aren't being expressed, and that sometimes can come out in ways that are, if they're not fully assimilated or recognized, they can come out in ways that really can be kind of painful, right, to ourselves and to others. Okay, and what the spirit animals do, what the lovely thing about spirit animals, they're non-judgmental. And an animal is an animal. It is what it is. It does what it does. It operates on pure instinct, and that instinct is instilled in it through natural survival. Okay, so every aspect of a spirit animal is there to help it to survive. Okay, and they help us with that too. And the thing that they really, working with them has really helped me to recognize is when we're working with ourselves, to have that compassion for even those parts of ourselves that we feel like we're fighting or trying to transcend. They were there originally to help us survive. Okay, so one of the biggest messages of spirit animals is really compassion and self-love, and to accept all parts of ourselves. Okay, because only by bringing it up into the light, bringing it up into our awareness, can we start to integrate these parts in ways that are helpful to us and in the light, right? That aren't going to be dragging us down or hurting ourselves or others. Okay, so No story, thank you. I will, as soon as I kind of figured out, or is that your, oh, I'm sorry, that's your calling out to somebody. Okay, very good. Um, so when things come up, for instance, like I said, I've been working with bee energy a lot. And so if we look at bee, there's the sting, right? So one thing that I have to be very aware of is watching my words and watching, making sure that I'm not communicating things in a way that are stinging and hurting, right? That I can communicate in ways that are beautiful. Okay, so the bee also has their own little song as they hang out in the hive. They vibrate in their wings and they make these little buzzing sounds, and they buzz differently in different ways. So that's the real kind of communication thing, and bees are helping me to learn to communicate in ways that are loving and responsive without being stinging, right? So just an example. Okay, so two things we could go from here. I think let's talk about, because this is the question that everybody has, how do you know if it's your spirit animal? And then we'll go into that meditation. So how do you know it's your totem? Because everybody wants to know, what's my spirit animal? Okay. So this will be an animal that you may already know. And there's a lot of times people will be like, oh, what is it? I really want to know. I really want to know. But really deep down, they know. So if there's an animal that you've always really been attracted to or really resonate with, or really it's your favorite animal, maybe you've got this animal like, um, uh, maybe it's a bear, maybe you've got bear prints on your pants. I mean, something like that. You collect things with bears. People are always giving you bears, little teddy bears or whatever it is, and you just resonate with bear. That is almost certainly your totem, okay? At least an animal that is a very significant power animal for you, right? So that's one way. Another way is, if you really don't know, just start being aware, just start asking. This is the invitation kind of phase here, where you can just ask spirit, okay, please show me my spirit animal. Please just really help me be aware of and help me connect with my spirit animal. And then just open your awareness and you'll start noticing animals, and there will be some that you'll start getting this little, oh, this little, oh, that's really calling to me, something about it. So, that's another way. And then we can also go through, if you really, in this meditation, and a lot of times that one will come through if you set that intention. Okay, so setting intention is huge. That I really want to connect with my totem and really learn my totem. And so once one has come forward and you're really feeling like, oh, this may be it, if you're not sure, then what I would suggest is working with that animal for a while and feel into it and start getting into a relationship with it. Is just like dating, right? When we're really looking for a soulmate, then sometimes we know right away. It's like, oh, boom, that's that person. But a lot of times it's like we got to sort of get out there and date and get to know somebody and get to talk to them. And after a while, things start to heat up a little bit. And after a while, you're going to, recognize, oh, yeah, of course this is the one, right? Or, you know what, I don't really think so. And then continue search. So work with it, because only you can determine what's your spirit animal. When I work with people, they'll often ask me to find their spirit animal for them. And what I tell them is like, I can help you to connect with it, and I can call in, and a spirit animal will come through for me, for you, and this will have a message for you, whether or not it's your actual totem. That is really up for you to take and really determine for yourself, because I think this is a really personal thing that I wouldn't do for anybody on behalf of anybody. I can help as a guide, but it's really ultimately it's your call, just like anything else, right? All right. So who is ready for a little bit guided meditation? I'm assuming that you all are, and so I'm going to just start with, if we can all just sort of center and ground. I'd like you to just sit real straight with your spine tall. And we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. We're going to start with the breaths into and out of the heart center. So just like breathing right into the heart and out of the heart into the universe. and really intending, first of all, just calling in light from all directions, calling in light from east, south, north, and west. And we're also going to be connecting with Mother Earth and Father Spirit above. But calling in light from all the directions, giving thanks to all directions, and recognizing that this is sacred space right now. Okay, so let's start with a nice deep breath into the heart. Hold for a sec and release. Releasing out anything that is just kind of tension or anything that feels heavy, letting the angels of the directions just hold that, take that away and hold space. Okay, let's do another one right into the heart. Light from all directions around into the heart. Hold. And then release. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you right now. One more. Light into the heart. Hold. Release anything that doesn't serve you. Okay. Now let's, from here, I'd like you to send your awareness down from the heart chakra, down through your solar plexus, through your sacral, through your root chakra, sending light down into the heart of Mother Earth with love, sending lots of love to Mother Earth, all the way down to the beautiful crystal core of Mother Earth. Just feel her embrace there. Feel her embrace and her love. And bringing that love, light of Mother Earth all the way from the heart, just really connecting with her heart, your heart to her heart, bringing that light all the way up through the chakras, all the way up to the heart. So this beautiful platinum light from the earth, all the way up to your heart center, and anchor it right there in the heart. Then from the heart, send your awareness all the way up through your throat, through your third eye, through your crown, all the way up to the central sun, as far up as you can imagine, and connect with this beautiful solar energy, spirit source light. Beautiful golden white lights. Really connect and anchor there, and then bring that light all the way down through all dimensions of time and space into your crown chakra, through past your third eye, into the throat, and down into the heart. Allow these two energies, beautiful earth, platinum light, source light from above is golden light, allow them to just mingle in the heart. Breathe and imagine yourself sending the roots down again to Mother Earth, just rooting out, rooting. You are this beautiful sacred tree, rooting with the earth and lifting the canopy of branches to the sun, to source above, and allowing the roots to grow all around, all the way up the sides, allowing the canopy of branches. You may have blossoms in your tree. You are the tree of life. And creating this beautiful sphere of roots and branches all the way around, all connected with light in all directions of the universe. And inside is sacred space. Inside is pure, beautiful light, the light within. And the trunk of your tree, you can now just step a little bit outside of this beautiful tree of life that is you, and notice that there's an opening in the tree, just big enough for you to step into. Step into that opening and just open all your senses. Relax, because it's just this beautiful energy just surrounding you, just this beautiful, beautiful, welcoming light. You might find a color. Maybe if there's a color that comes to you, just note that and go through. You're going through a little passage in this tree. Feel what it feels like. As you go through, just feel the sides of this passage. What does it feel like? Just note that. And as you go through it, twists and turns a little bit, you're going to see an opening at the other side. And you're going to see light at the other side. And as you come through, we're going to see this big opening. And walking through, you see this beautiful scene in nature. Whatever that looks like to you, whether it's a beach or a jungle, forest, desert, could be even be tundra, could be underwater, whatever that is. Just pause at the threshold a little bit and just drink it in. And when it feels right to you, enter into this beautiful landscape. You can wander around a little bit into there till you find a place that feels inviting. When you find that place, have a seat or lie down, whatever feels good to you. Or you can keep moving, whatever feels good to you. But really have this sense of really find a place where you're feeling comfortable. And then just open all your senses. Just drink in the light that you feel there. Notice how the air feels. Notice if the air is humid or dry, if there's a little breeze or if it's still. Start noticing the sounds in this place. Maybe a lap of water, it could be bird song, it could be the sounds of insects, it could be the sounds of leaves in the wind. Whatever it is, just notice what sounds are here. You may already hear things speaking to you. Notice the temperature. Maybe anything, any kind of aroma. Notice that. Smell of earth, smell of flowers, leaves, what odors you may find on the wind. And then open your inner eyes and just take in the whole scene. Don't try to focus on anything, but you may notice that there is movement. Could be in the corner of your eye. And you notice this movement. It's an animal. You're aware of it. And it may be bold. It may come right up to you. Or maybe just a glimpse. Whatever it is, be still. And allow it to come to you. You may get glimpses of many. Just be still. Send love. Just feel that love in your heart. And just be open to that animal, whatever it is, that wants to connect with you, that wants to have something for you. There's a particular animal that has their heart space has expanded and it's resonating with the same energy as yours. The two of your hearts are connected. They're beating as one. That animal's approaching you. I'm just going to give you a few minutes. Just connect with that animal. If it doesn't show up, that's all right. It's all right. You set the intention that will show up sometime in the next few days, but just be open to it. When it comes in, just notice everything about it, what it looks like, what it's doing. It may speak to you. Just notice, be aware. I'm going to give you just a minute or two of silence to connect. Okay. Now, in your own time, if you've connected with an animal, just thank them. Ask them to kind of wrap up whatever it is that they want to tell you. Tell them that you can connect with them again. Thank them so much for showing themselves to you. Allow that animal, if it wants to stay with you, allow it to stay. Otherwise, let it go back into the landscape, knowing that you can connect again anytime. Slowly rise up, head back to the tree, turn around, give thanks to the landscape, all the land, everything in it. Turn around, go back into the tree, go back through the passage, back out the opening, back into this beautiful heart space. You merge again with the tree again. And then slowly, in your own time, start to bring your branches back down, bring your roots back up. Allow the angels, the energies of the directions to kind of step back. And as you're ready, just come back into this time and space. And just kind of move your fingers and toes, move around a little bit, come back to your body. Okay. So giving thanks to all energies that were present for that experience. Cutting any energetic cords or entanglements that may have formed during this time. Allowing everybody could come back into their sovereign space. Giving thanks. Each person in their own energy. Each person vibrating in love. Unconditional love unifying all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close this meditation space. So, if you'd like to share your experience at all in the chat, do feel free to do that. Or if you have any questions, we've got maybe 10, 15 minutes left. And if you have questions about either anything that you've experienced here or about spirit animals in general, do feel free to put those in the chat. I will answer as many as I can. And in the meantime, definitely when this session is over, go check out the next the next videos in the 2020 New Beginning 2020 series of the schedule for the ones from from here on out. I've put below in the description box, and there's also a link to the full schedule that you can go check out. There's many, many very, very talented healers, shamans, just beautiful people that are sharing just beautiful things in this whole series. And I'm looking forward to tuning in as I can today. I've got a class that I got to go to and so forth. But I just want to thank you all for your presence, and don't be shy. If you have questions, absolutely, please put them in the comments. I would love to answer. I'm here for you for another 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm all yours, and I would love to just be here for you, answer any questions, even if it's not about spirit animals. Feel free to ask. Or if you just like to share your experience. Thank you, Cleo. Or if you'd rather, I could just do a little reading for the coming year, if that would be something that you'd rather have. I have my own deck here, spirit animal cards that I could read from, and we'll just kind of do a little reading, if you like, around the purpose, maybe finding your purpose. Oh, a stag. Chloe says a stag came to me, which is really unexpected, but it was really interesting. Chloe, did you want to comment on if you want to share anything? If you want to share anything, Chloe, please do comment if it spoke to you or if it had a message. Sometimes these messages come through for the entire group. So I'd love if you would like to share, or don't feel like you have to. And Cleo, that's great. So I will go ahead and do a little reading, and feel free at any time, any of you, to ask additional questions. We'll just tailor the time we have left to what comes through. Okay, so okay, Gypsy says a dragonfly flashed, hovered, and flew over the stream. A black beetle crawled out over the wet rock from the waterfall, and then some black ants walked over the tree root near my foot. So you're really connecting with the insect world, Gypsy Heart Souls. That is absolutely beautiful, and that is a kind of a realm of the spirit animal world that a lot of people don't really think about. But the insects, there are so many of them, and they are fascinating. So what I'd really like to do is suggest to any of you who connected with an animal to really look into the symbolism of the animal, start learning about that particular animal, their traits, what makes them different from other animals, and that will really give you insights on kind of whatever process you're dealing with. So I'm going to do a little reading here, asking for guidance, helping us all to step further into our truth and our purpose for 2020. First one is skunk. This is interesting because skunk, this is like the second time that skunk has come through in readings in the last just couple days. Okay, so monkey with a baby came through. Oh, baby was poorly nourished. Yeah, so really feel into that. Okay, wherein you may need a little bit of nourishment, right? And where can you be mother to yourself? Okay, Chloe says it's unexpected because it's not an animal that I think about. Usually didn't say anything, it just chose nose on the cheek, right? So that's really coming to you saying, hey, I'm here for you, right? All right, so skunk. Respect is a huge one with skunk, right? Because skunk has this amazing superpower of being able to really do a stink bomb, right? And this can be, you can see this as a shadow side, where what I'm seeing is when we are not paying attention to our own needs, and sometimes people pleasing can bring this about. When we are consistently not respecting our own needs or not setting the boundaries and asking for respect of others, then it will get toxic. Eventually, it'll get toxic, and sometimes it'll just explode into a big stink bomb. Okay, so skunk really asks us, yes, boundaries, absolutely. But look at skunk, because skunk doesn't just let the stink bomb loose like that, right? It takes a lot of pushing at skunk for that to happen. It gives little warnings. It will sort of kind of stand there. It will kind of shuffle its feet. It will turn around and point its back end to you. It'll lift its tail. It'll stand on its hind. It gives huge numbers of warnings. So skunk is really one of these things that I'm really getting from skunk right now. And it may be a different message if I got skunk at a different time, but right now I'm getting it's like heed the warnings. Really tune into your body reactions. Tune into your emotions, your emotional reactions, right? And these are little, like, think of it as a little skunk going, shuffle my paws here. Okay, you're getting close to my boundaries. Now I'm turning around, I'm raising my tail. Okay, these things, because eventually it's going to explode into a stink bomb if you're not paying attention to these things. Okay, so back off a little bit from the boundaries. And this is like learning to read and respect our own signals, because we are taught as children to ignore our own signals many times in society, because we have the society that has certain, certain things that a lot of us are told to sit down, shut up, or told in various ways that we're not good enough and that we don't have a right to speak out. All these things that we've all experienced, and this is not to dwell on that at all. This is about healing that. This is about just putting that behind us and starting to really listen to that inner child, or those things that we, our needs, our own needs, and the legitimate desires that we have. Okay, every animal has desires. Okay, and the desires are what drives that animal, right? And it's attracted to certain foods. It wants that food. It wants sex. It wants this and that. Okay, these desires are not bad, and sometimes we kind of get these messages that what we want isn't good because we're not good enough or whatever it is, right? So one of the things that spirit animals are really good at teaching us is to accept that, yes, we have desires, and that we do need to work with the higher realm, the angelic, or the higher realm, and with our mind and with our higher self, to make sure that the desires we have really are resonant with source. Okay, because a spirit animal is an animal, right? So it's going to work with the animal, the base instincts, right? So we need to work with that, and also with the higher energies as well. Okay, so we want to align all of it, but it's so important to be in touch with those lower, because when the lower desires are in alignment with source, we're going to start desiring the food that's good for us. We're going to start desiring healthy sex, right, instead of unhealthy, codependent or whatever sex, right? We're going to start to have those desires in alignment, so they can help us to figure that out. I think I probably have time for one or two more cards, or if you have more questions, and then I'm going to give you a little time for a little maybe bathroom break, grab some water before the next video. Pull one more card here for boundaries. Fascinate me. A few people I love hugging, others I step away from. I think they're inner demon. Right. So really pay attention to those senses that you get. Does somebody's energy feel good to you? And if not, it's okay to not, go there. It's okay. Those energetic, and it doesn't mean that person is bad. It does not mean, that person, that you can't have a relationship with that person that's healthy. But anytime you're finding yourself in a relationship in a way that is making your energy feel like, oh, if it's making you feel like self-doubt or feel kind of crawly or whatever, just step away. It's all right. And you can, do that in ways that don't create a stink bomb. Like, it could be a stink bomb, but no, if it's shiny, yeah, use your discretion. Absolutely. Okay, so in my deck, I've got blank cards, and this is an invitation to, if you have one of my decks, you can draw an animal in there if it's one that you connect with a lot, if it's not in the deck, or just tune in. So I'm going to tune in real quick, see what animal wants to come forward, and go from there. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now, I'm getting this image of a nose first. I'm pretty clairvoyant, so sometimes it's a little shy. I'm thinking it's a little shy. I'm sort of getting it's probably gray fox. Um, so gray fox, I have a whole video on fox, so look for that. But gray fox in particular has a real relationship with trees. They are um, there are definitely forest animals. They can actually kind of climb trees, and so I'm kind of thinking that that whole idea of the tree of life and ourselves as tree of life. I think that Fox is really wanting to call into that, really grounding and spending, going into this year ahead, um, every day grounding to Mother Earth, feeling those roots and opening to the source above, feeling that light. I mean, just as a practice every day, even if it's just 2 minutes, just consciously do that every day, and it's going to really help to stay in alignment with your higher self. Because ultimately, if we can see ourselves as the tree of life, as really having that connection and bringing that in, trees are great purifiers. It's going to help to ease this whole process because it is a process of purification. Okay, and trees are great providers. They're just such beautiful spiritual beings, trees that and so be the tree this coming year and connect with the trees as much as you can. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. I am so so delighted with all of your energy and your support, and so grateful for you to be here. And I wish you just much love, many blessings, and just lots of peace and joy and abundance for 2020 and beyond. So thank you, and we'll catch you again soon.